More drama tonight in Dalton after Mayor Tiffany Henyard clashes with village trustees over a postponed meeting.
Henyard's attorney claims trustees did not cancel the meeting with enough notice and says the show must go on.
Indeed, the credit card used to pay for the mayor's conference is from Thornton Township, a completely different government body where Henyard also serves as supervisor.
Appointed by Tiffany Henyard as police chief, trustees say it's an illegal appointment. Lacey was arraigned on federal bankruptcy fraud charges Thursday afternoon. It's alleged that he lied under oath in a scheme to hide assets.
See after another thing. Things just aren't calming down around Tiffany Henyard, and that is she's on making things even worse for herself. From criminals to using her citizens' money, the village Alton is in for a wild ride with this particular May is the type of person that makes you wonder how humanity got so far. Not she's one of the most corrupt people on earth, but she's still in a seat of power. Swimming in controversy and drowning in allegations, is stilling desperately not only to walk free after all crimes she committed, but continues to be the mayor of Dalton. The fact that she's being judged by the law from every direction would make her avoid doing controversial things, but it looks like nothing can stop her from a meeting without the Dalton trustees and next.
Does Henyard still intend to convene tonight's meeting? She also plans to make a series of new village appointments. In about 90 minutes, we'll see how things shake out, because at least 3 village trustees say they will not be coming. Yesterday, the publicist for the village trustees announced tonight's regular board had been rescheduled for Thursday, September 12th, adding they are working to address several urgent matters, including finalizing a budget, establishing a...
Not only does Henyard still intend to convene tonight's meeting, she also plans to make a series of new village appointments. In about 90 minutes, we'll see how things shake out, because at least 3 village trustees say they will not be coming yesterday. The publicist for the village trustees announced tonight's regular board had been rescheduled for Thursday, September 12th, adding they are working to address several urgent matters, including finalizing a budget, establishing a new village bank account, and securing a new auditor's attorney.
The publicist for the village trustees announced tonight's regular board had been rescheduled for Thursday, September 12th, adding they are working to address several urgent matters, including finalizing a budget, establishing a new village bank account, and securing a new auditor. Henyard's attorney, Bo Brindley, who is a criminal defense lawyer, says the board did not announce the postponement with proper notice.
The mayor was given no notice by the board that they were going to cancel or postpone or do anything with this meeting. Under Illinois statute, they have to give 10 days notice. They have to post 10 days notice to change the date or cancel a meeting. And they didn't do it. They did this in violation of state statute. They tried to circumvent the regular process and interfere with the mayor's ability to conduct her job.
Seems struggling to find a reason to defend her. At least it doesn't frustrate people even more. His seems to have no effect on the people of Dalton, who still view Tiffany as an immature, power-hungry, and corrupt politician, which is admittedly his main target. We'll have to wait and see, though it doesn't look good for Tiffany either way.
Village administrator.
Last night, Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard appointed a new top aide to a $100,000 a year job without board consent. 34-year-old Michael A. Smith, who's been active in South suburban politics for years.
The reason for Mike is he have a wealth of great information. He's a young person and ex-politician. He knows the laws like the back of his hand.
Perhaps that's because Smith has been in and out of trouble with the law for years. Public reporting shows Smith has been charged at least 8 times with crimes ranging from domestic battery to official misconduct. In 2012, Smith, then a young trustee in Dixmoor, resigned after pleading guilty to theft when he allegedly stole gasoline by posing as a police officer. Then in 2018, Smith was working as an assistant dean at Thornton Fractional High School when he was fired for sexual harassment of a female student, grooming a student with lascivious intent, and inappropriate aggressive behavior.
Accusations don't stop. Here, she hired a new top administrator without the scent. And if that wasn't enough, the new guy is a known former criminal and sexual harasser.
Constant pattern of her hiring people without doing a proper background check and presenting it to the board. And that's our issue. That could pose a great danger to our community.
Dalton trustees Brittany Norwood and Tammy Brown
is alarming.
Were not at last night's meeting when Smith was appointed. The 4 Dalton trustees opposed to Henyard postponed the meeting and say none of the action taken was legal.
It's very interesting, considering the fact that she didn't have a quorum. So I don't understand how someone could be appointed.
Smith is replacing Henyard's previous hand-picked village administrator, Keith Freeman, who fell out of favor after he was charged with bankruptcy fraud and is now believed to be cooperating with an FBI investigation into Henyard. But Freeman is apparently still on the village payroll and filling the job.
So can you have a second village administrator?
No. We don't have the finances for that. As you all know, we are definitely in a financial bind, and we cannot afford.
Aren't going to come down around her, or the citizens are not happy with their new aide. They're trying hardest to get the mayor out of her seat, and now find out that not only is she still there with no intentions of stepping back, she appointed yet another criminal to work for her, and all the people running Dalton are going to end up being criminals and corrupt politicians. Phoenix's
another key ally. Until recently, Henyard enjoyed near unanimous support on the Thornton Township Board, but now trustee Carmen Carlisle says after trusting Henyard and remaining silent,
reason for her decision to hire very specific people. A thought township board trustee turned into a whistleblower and spilled everything she knew about her next.
She will be a whistleblower against Henyard.
Concerns when it came to Tiffany were the amount of money she was spending. That didn't belong to her ports. The women spent thousands of dollars on luxurious travel trips and even an unapproved icing rink from taxpayers' money. The Dalton have had enough of it. Watching the supposed leader spend their money on herself and on needless luxuries while there to meet the annual tax quota isn't anybody's idea of fun. Unfortunately, though, the town meeting ordinance to put a cap on credit card spending didn't pass. It's not Annie is still free to spend their money, but she also rehired L.S. Lacey Dalton, the former police chief who was fired due to corruption.
With purchases approved by the finance director, but that ordinance did not pass.
Coming in, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So, but like I said, just some accountability, some transparency. And once again, as you can see, it's, there's a lot of rhetoric and there's a lot of going back and forth, but how many true answers did we get?
Also happening in Dalton, Deputy Police Chief Lewis Lacey, fired for insubordination last week by the Dalton Village Board, is back, appointed by Tiffany Henyard as police chief. Trustees say it's an illegal appointment. Lacey was arraigned on federal bankruptcy fraud charges Thursday afternoon. It's alleged that he lied under oath in a scheme to hide assets and income from creditors.
Well, Mr. Lacey is absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I think the government likes to bring as many counts as possible, just so the
meeting wasn't already going completely wrong for Dalton controller froze payments to the village over past due audits now on hand. It's not like money would have gone into the hands of the well-deserving citizens, or for their Tiffany would have probably spent it on herself.
The state's chief financial officer makes it clear to Dalton officials.
Until I see those reports properly filed the way the law says they have to be, and until we see them show accountability for how they're spending taxpayer money, they will not see another penny of those offsets.
Illinois Comptroller under fire leaves. People wondering about her connections. Ailey, from what we've seen so far, the concern with more corrupt people in positions of power over Dalton, it makes us wonder whether this was part of a bigger scheme only. But the world has been filled with unlikely news that no one saw coming, especially recently, and the guy who first nominated Tiffany, who knew her position as Thornton Township supervisor, weighs in what led him to make that decision.
Just as a whole, I just felt that I was hoping we could get somebody that was a little bit younger for the role. I felt it was time that, maybe possibly, and I wasn't like honed in on that, but a woman, I just thought that would be somebody, that was a little bit younger, a woman. So that's kind of where I was. I'll be honest, I really didn't know at that time a whole lot of the, that there was already some controversy and things like that, a little bit that was going on in Dalton, say. Sure. So I didn't really know about that. And that was also something that, I mean, obviously there, just on the surface, there was a little bit of experience there. She had been a trustee, just became mayor. Kind of a town that you might have had as a base as far as just like, once again, coming from that there might be some experience and things like that there. Yeah. She went straight to Frank's office and,
The end weren't any malicious intentions, but it's not going the way it was envisioned. They are not the only ones suffering at the hands of the most corrupt mayor in the world. A firefighter came forward to accuse Tiffany of mishandling their retirement money. And that's true, which it probably is. This is a one-time thing for all the retirees who worked hard all their lives to serve the village, only to have their hard-earned money taken because Tiffany Henyard wanted to go on yet another luxury vacation.